I don't want to see the David fight. I think David is a heavyweight, and I think David's legacy is he actually needs to move up. And Usyk would be like the fight that would like give him the type of recognition that he needs. He needs to stop trying to suck down and beat up on smaller men. His legacy is a heavyweight. Crawford, he can do whatever he wants now. If he wanted to retire, he can do that. And if he wanted to just pick easy fights to pad the stats some more, he can do that too. We already know that Charlo's probably wouldn't stand a chance against him. Nobody else who's a big name at 160 or whatever. He don't need to go back down no more. That's a waste of time, and it's also bad on his body too. We saw what happened.
When asked about Terence Crawford's stunning win over Canelo Alvarez, David Benavidez spoke openly and didn't hold back.
Do you think Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo?
No, I wouldn't fight Crawford. I'm at 170.
The WBC light heavyweight champion summed up Crawford's performance in just a few words, and fans agreed it was the perfect description. Crawford's rise in boxing history was nothing short of incredible. He proved that the fighter from Omaha had secured his place among the all-time greats. Earlier this month, Crawford stepped into the ring with the Mexican superstar, and many wondered if moving up 3 weight classes was too much to handle. Instead, he shocked the world by defeating Canelo to claim the undisputed super middleweight crown. The fight took place at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, and by the end, the judges scored it heavily in Crawford's favor at 115 to 113, 116 to 112, and 115 to 113.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's.
From the opening round, Crawford set a pace that Canelo simply could not match. This wasn't just another win. It was a defining moment in boxing history. Crawford became the first male fighter to hold undisputed titles in 3 divisions, adding to his legacy. At 37 years old, the Omaha native may have delivered the greatest performance of his career. Benavidez, an unbeaten champion himself, made it clear that Crawford deserved to be part of the conversation about greatness. Moving up from welterweight at 147 pounds to super middleweight and unifying all 4 belts had never been done before. He said, "I want to congratulate Terence Crawford. Few fighters in history have done what he just did. He is one of the all-time greats." Not only did he move up 3 divisions, he also beat one of the best fighters of this era. "I can't recall anyone ever starting at 147 and winning the super middleweight championship. He's not just skilled, that fight proved how tough he really is."
No way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. Benavidez is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't.
With Crawford's victory, he became a champion in 5 weight classes, sparking immediate talk about what comes next. Some believe he may even drop back down to middleweight to challenge Janibek Alimkhanuly, the unified WBO and IBF title holder. If he pulls it off, Crawford would be chasing a 6th division title, something nearly unthinkable. Meanwhile, Canelo was left facing a tough road ahead. At 35, he had signed a 4-fight deal set to begin in early 2026, but many fans and analysts wondered if retirement might be the smarter choice. Losing his undisputed crown to Crawford raised doubts about whether his dominance had finally ended.
Yeah, you fight, but you avoid the monster. You understand me? That's going to tank the rest of his career if he keeps trying to fight. Well, it's tough to say because he's made enough money that he can retire. He really has nothing else to prove. We saw him go up. He did but he tested himself all the way up as far as he could go. He won the light heavyweight title, then he lost to Bivol. So that shows that the light heavyweight was his ceiling. That's good enough. really, right now, he got nothing else to prove. You know, I mean, of course, if you keep fighting, people gonna demand you fight the monster because both you guys are Mexican. But to me, you probably shouldn't do that. You understand me? It's probably not a good fight for you at this point, for real.
As Crawford celebrated his historic win, more voices in boxing shared their thoughts. Hall of Famer James Toney was blunt when assessing Canelo's showing. He didn't see it as close or respectable. In his view, Canelo was completely dismantled. The Mexican star wasn't just beaten. Crawford's sharp and relentless style broke him down round by round. For a fighter once seen as unstoppable at super middleweight, it was a crushing verdict.
Matter of fact, not only did they lose him, he got destroyed basically. Took him apart.
Do you feel like he's gonna want that back? Do you feel like
if he's a true fighter, a true champion, he gonna want it back and train twice as hard and do what it takes to get the job done. Basically, that's what comes down to right there. 100%.
Toney's comments came as rumors of a rematch began to swirl. Many felt Canelo would want revenge, especially after the WBC placed him back as the #1 contender at 168 pounds. If that happens, Canelo would be chasing undisputed status for the third time, something almost unimaginable. While Toney focused on Canelo's defeat, former light heavyweight champion Sergey Kovalev looked at Crawford's future. Having fought Canelo himself, Kovalev believed only one man could truly test Crawford. That fighter was Dmitry Bivol, who had beaten Artur Beterbiev earlier this year to become the undisputed light heavyweight king. Kovalev explained, yes, Bivol can cause problems for Crawford with his style, but Crawford showed in his last fight that he can adjust to any weight and any opponent. Still, it would be very interesting to see that fight.
I want to quickly ask you a couple of questions. Crawford, Spence. I know you watched the fight and you spoke about Crawford. How good is Crawford?
Crawford is amazing, not just good. He's amazing, and
he said the same thing about you.
Thank you, Terence. But I think he should be in the book for
really? Is that good?
How to learn boxing, you know?
Really?
He's a very good fighter. Yeah, I like to watch his fights.
Pound for pound #1?
Yeah, probably he is now because he is undisputed champion in 2 weight classes. And
it's crazy.
He's a great fight.
While Kovalev weighed in on Crawford's future, Oscar de la Hoya entered the discussion from a different angle. The former champion and current promoter gave his view on whether Crawford had surpassed Floyd Mayweather. The topic came up after Canelo suggested Crawford might be greater than Floyd, but de la Hoya disagreed. To him, Mayweather was still far superior. He pointed back to Floyd's fight against a young Canelo, where Mayweather dominated with ease. De la Hoya noted that Floyd barely took a clean punch that night and showed unmatched technical ability. Crawford might be more aggressive and versatile, but de la Hoya believed Mayweather's skill set was on another level.
Entirely.
And who would do it? Because Canelo after the fight said that Crawford was way better than Floyd. You know Crawford, you know Canelo, you know Floyd. What do you think? Who would win in a fight?
My man. I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better.
That debate revived one of boxing's favorite arguments: who ranks higher across generations. Mayweather built his career on flawless defense and tactical brilliance, staying undefeated while winning belts in 5 divisions. Crawford has built his legend on adaptability, toughness, and the rare ability to dominate across multiple weight classes. The question of who is greater may never have a clear answer, but it highlighted just how unique Crawford's career has become.
You think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. Like he's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good too, though. You can't You can knock him as well. You know, he's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. You know, it'd been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, you know, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford.
Even as the debates about greatness continued, speculation about Mayweather's own future resurfaced. Retired since 2017 after beating Conor McGregor, Mayweather hasn't fully left the sport. Boxing analyst Dan Rafael weighed in, saying if Floyd did return, it wouldn't be against elite opponents. Instead, Rafael believed Mayweather would pick safe fights to keep his perfect 50-0 record. He saw little appeal in that and dismissed talk of another Pacquiao fight as pointless. Many fans agreed, preferring that Floyd's career be remembered for what it was, not watered down by unnecessary comebacks.
It's obviously is that Manny was out of the ring for a lot less time than Floyd Mayweather was. That's significant. I mean, I hope this doesn't lead to some stupid discussion of doing a rematch between Floyd and Manny, because that I don't have. I have like literally less than zero interest in that.
I remember what you said. I can't remember the words you said, but you said you'd rather set yourself up fight than watch that rematch.
Exactly. I mean, I would say right now it's idle talk, and Floyd sort of like spitballing, seeing what's out there. And this whole thing they announced with this Mike Tyson Floyd Mayweather exhibition bout, the way that was announced was very clear to me that they may have signed to do the fight, but it's contingent on them actually having a platform on which to do it that will pay them money. And I don't think they have a deal yet for anybody to show it. So it's still a matter of if that actually will take place. So I'll believe it when I see it. And frankly, I don't see there being a lot of interest in that. Not because they're not two incredible names and two all-time legends and two great fighters and, have tremendous amount of fans and history in the sport. But we all know what Tyson's got left, and that's absolutely nothing. If they announced Mayweather versus Tyson before we saw Tyson get completely exposed by Jake Paul, I could understand there being interest. But he went in the ring with Jake Paul and had 8 rounds where he couldn't do anything. I know that was technically an official fight, so what makes you think he can do anything against a Floyd Mayweather even 8 years?
As for Crawford, his star has only grown since the Canelo fight, and he now stands at the center of boxing's biggest storyline. Whether he decides to chase middleweight glory, move up to challenge Bivol at light heavyweight, or remain at super middleweight, he has proven he can handle every challenge. Meanwhile, Canelo must make tough decisions about his future. Should he rebuild at 168 pounds, try for revenge against Crawford, or finally walk away after years at the top? For a fighter who has already achieved so much, the question of whether to continue weighs heavily.
I'd like to see Canelo retire too. I don't think he will though. He's got a multi-fight deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh. That's a lot of money on the table, and he's a proud champion. So I can understand him not wanting to end on that note. But you can see Canelo getting older, and I'm not just talking about ring. I mean, you can see it in his face. For the Netflix special behind the scenes, you kind of see the age, you see the wear and tear. The man has been fighting as a professional since he was 15 years old.
20 years.
He's got over, it's a long time to be getting hit with 8-ounce and 10-ounce gloves. Even if you take it well, and oftentimes the guys that take it well, they show it more. Because I'm absorbing a lot of shots, and you giving me praise for absorbing them shots, but them shots take a toll. I don't know how much longer he should keep fighting, and it's not because he can't fight anymore. Still one of the best fighters in the world. But you get into the hunger conversation. You get into the total punishment that you got to add that stuff up when you start getting older. Like, okay, man, do I still need to do this? He doesn't need to do it other than just his love for it, because his mantra is no boxing, no life. So I don't know if he's going to be able to walk away right now. His legacy is secure. I think he's one of the greatest Mexican fighters that has ever done it. I think he's in the great category and conversation. We can break down a resume another day, but I think that given the way that he fought and given the way that he bowed out, I think you just got to just leave it right there and give him his respect. I would like to see him maybe take 1 or 2 more and call it a day, go enjoy the fruits of his labor.
From Benavidez's high praise to Tony's harsh criticism, from Kovalev's cautious outlook to De La Hoya's bold comparisons, and finally Rafael's doubts about Mayweather, Crawford's win brought an avalanche of reactions. Each opinion added another piece to the story, showing a sport in transition, with legends being tested and new icons rising. At the center of it all is Terence Crawford, once criticized for not having faced big names, now regarded as one of the greatest boxers ever. With every division conquered and every champion beaten, he has etched his name deeper into history. The only question now is how much further he is willing to go. Share your thoughts in the comments below.